YouTube. Today we're in sunny South Florida and the temperature is a lovely 74 degrees. Today we've got a 2012 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. I recently, well, about 6 months ago, I changed out the springs on the front and the back with some Megan racing springs. I really like the way the front sat. It's about 1 inch down. There's like a 1 inch gap between the front wheels and the fender. You can see here, looks pretty perfect, like 2-finger spacing. I really like it, rides nicely, but I'm not sure if it's because of the hybrid battery, which adds about 100 pounds in the back, but the rear springs bottomed out. I had these Megan racing springs here, and they, after a month or two, they just squashed and the back was slammed to the ground. So I put the original springs back on, but now it looks like they're like 3 fingers, which looks a little high, especially with the front being so nicely 1 inch. So I did have, let me get a ruler to show you. About 1 inch from top to bottom. And I do have some spacers, some 1 inch spacers, and someone told me that spacers lower your car also. And I was like, okay, but how much can that actually happen? Like, how much can that actually lower the car? I understand that if you have a door and you push on the door close to the hinge, it takes a lot of force to close the door. If you push on the door closer to the doorknob, it's really easy to close the door. So I guess that's the concept. You're moving the wheel further outside, further away from the spring, similar to pushing closer to the doorknob, which gives the car's weight more force to push on the spring and lower the car. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've got these beefy spacers. They're really nice looking. Really nice. Bullet aluminum. So we're going to see what this does, what the effect is, and how it comes out. And then we'll measure and see what the result is. So let's see what it looks like. So as you can see, that tire came off pretty easily, and it looks pretty clean back here. Whenever you're back here, of course, you want to check the rotors. These ones don't get used much because it's a hybrid, so the regenerative braking does a lot of the braking. But it's always good to check the pads. You see these pads have a lot of life in them, and these are the stock springs that I put back in. And I'm just going to clean up this surface just a little bit, make sure there's not any of this gunk, not too much rust or just dust, really. Dusty buildup around the rotor before I put on the spacer, because of course you want the spacer to go on as flat as possible, so it doesn't look too rusty, too dusty. Yeah, so let's see what this looks like going on. These are the spacers. They're 1 inch. They look really great. I like the look of them. Just double check. Yep, 1 inch. So we're gonna see what effect these have on the car. See if it can get it. See if they can get it any lower. Yeah, those look great. Moment of truth. Let's see the result. Okay, that's super high. It's super jacked up. So let me jump up and down on it and then see what it looks like. Okay, so I just jumped up and down on it a little bit, and it looks like that helped it settle in, and it looks a little bit lower. Remember last time 3 fingers was really easy to get in, and now it's a little more difficult. So I think it made a little bit of a difference. Let's put this ruler up here. Let's see if the ruler shows. Yeah, it looks a little bit less than a 1/4 of an inch. So I guess it makes a difference, and I'm gonna drive around on it a little bit and see if it settles in a little bit more. You can see the wheels definitely stick out more, and it looks like pretty much flush. The tire's flush with the wheel well. I think I like that about it. You can see how it sticks out there. And that's pretty cool. Kind of gives it a wider stance than the front. And that's a pretty cool look. So let me do the other side and see if that makes any of a difference.
I feel so
What you going to do with it?